Hi everyone, this is Sima God. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if this is your first time, kindly subscribe. So we are making this beautiful gown today. If this looks like what you want to learn how it was made, please sit back and enjoy. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please turn up the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. So relax and enjoy how.
So today we are going to be making a beautiful gown that we saw earlier, and I will start by drafting my basic body from my shoulder to my waist. So this is it. So I'll insert my shoulder. I'm working with a shoulder of 16 inches. So divided by 2 gives me 8 inches. I'll mark the 8. I'll come to the back and I'll mark the 8 too. Then the shoulder slope of 1 inch. Immediately after my shoulder slope, I'm going to be inserting my armhole depth, which is 8.5, and my armhole depth, which is 8.5. Then I'll connect from the center front at this chest line. I'll mark my 8 inches so that I would have a straight line to connect my armhole. I'll mark 8 inches again, which is the shoulder measurement, and I'll connect. So the next thing I'll do, my bust is a bust of 40. 40 divided by 4 would give me 10. So I'll be inserting my bust measurement of 10 inches for the front and 10 inches for the back. After doing that, I would come to mark my basic neck. My basic neck, I'm using 3 inches for the front by 3 inches for the wideness and for the depth. And then I'll connect it. I'll connect it then connect it to the shoulder slope. I'll come to the back. I'm going to mark 3 inches by 1. You can choose to do 1.5, and then I would connect this and connect this. After doing that, I'll get the midpoint of my armhole, which is 4.2, and this is 4.2. I would go inward for the back side by half of 0.25, for the front by half of an inch, and then I'm going to connect and connect. For the back, I'll still do the same thing, connect and connect. So having done this, the only thing I need to do now is to insert my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 37. 37 divided by 4 would give me 9.25. So I'm going to be inserting 9.25 here, and I'll insert 9.25 here. Now for the back part, I'm going to come inward by 1 inch for my back tightening, and for my dart, I'm going to be coming inward by 4.5 or 4 inches. Let me use 4.5, and I'll mark my 4.5 straight down. Then I'll take in my dart intake of half inch on both sides and then connect it. Then for my back tightening, this 1 inch, I'm going to connect it to this neck part like this. So in total, this is my waist measurement, like I earlier said. I took off 1 inch here and I took off another 1 inch, making it a total of 2 inches. For this style, it's very vital that you replace on your pattern. So this is the total of 2 inches that I've replaced, and I'm going to connect. I would actually indulge for this, for drafting this style. You fix in your pattern, your replacement of that on the pattern paper. Then for the front, my dart intake is 4 inches, which is the bust point to bust point. Then I'm going to be taking um half of an inch on both sides. The shoulder to bust point is 10, so this is where my dart is supposed to stop for the front, and then I'll connect it and connect it. Then I'll connect my bust measurement to my waist measurement. Now for the replacements of this dart, which is 1 inch, I'm going to come this way to replace it and connect. After connecting, sorry, there is something I didn't do. The shoulder to waist front and the shoulder to waist back is not the same. The shoulder to waist for the front is 17, while the shoulder to waist for the back is 16. So I'll be taking off 1 inch at the waist part of this back bodice. Yes, so I'll just do that continuously. So this part doesn't really count anymore. Just confirm that your dart measurements are still okay and you're back to we are good to go. So for the front, my shoulder to bust point is 10. I step down by half, which is 10.5. Then the difference between, I'll do my bust tightening now. To get my bust tightening is the difference between the shoulder to waist for front and the shoulder to waist for back. If we agree together, the shoulder to waist for front is 17, while the shoulder to waist for back is 16. 17 minus 16 would give me 1 inch. So at this point, I'll be coming down by 1 inch and I'll connect it. After connecting this, we can say that our basic bodies for this style we want to draft is ready. So this is what I'll do. I'll cut it out. Now for the bust tightening for the side, so I'll take this upward like this. Then I'll just trim off any excess I have at the side. Now for the back, I would cut out the back. Cut off the back tightening. So after doing this is what we have. Our side front and side back are equal. Now because of the style we are drafting, I don't want the dart to show at all. So what I would do is, I would not, when I'm drafting the fabric, I would not be adding any sewing allowance to the sides at all. Meaning that we remember that we have a replacement of 1 inch dart here. So I'm going to be sewing by that 1 inch. Therefore, I won't be sewing the dart on the dress. So we'll just go right about now to transfer this to the fabric so we understand better. Okay, so I've placed my front. See, the side is still folded, and this place is the center front is on fold. I placed my center front on my center front. So I just place the scissors here to hold it firmly. After that, I'm going to measure from the center back, from the neck, that's my center back, to where I actually want the sleeve to be. So from my center back to my elbow gave me about 21 inch. So this is 21 inch here. I've marked it. Then I'll come to the waist part. This is the waist part. I'm just going to mark it with my chalk. Then I'll come up by this side by say about 2 inches. Remember I said that the dart we use here, I'm not going to be sewing it on this fabric. So that dart is 1 inch. It's going to serve as the sewing allowance for this side. So I'll go up by 2.5 inches here. So this is the 2.5 inches, and I'll connect to the waist like this. So after marking upwards 2.5 inches, I'm going to slant this a bit so that it can get into the shoulder slope. So this is how it is now, and after that I would now give it a curved shape to meet up with this 21 inch. Then the next thing I'll do is to cut. So I'll cut my basic neck out first. Then this is what I have, so I'll cut it out. I'll cut this. Just add a bit allowance when you want to do that, so that you can just turn. And I'll come to the shoulder. I'm going to cut it. So we can say that our front part of this dress is ready. So we'll go over to the back part. So this is the back, well placed already. And I would go ahead to still mark the 21 inches from this back, from the center back. Look, I gave some space here. That's because I'll be cutting my zipper allowance at that part. So I'll mark my 21 inches here, like I did for the front. I'll slant it into this shoulder slope here. At the waist part, like the front, I'll come up from the waist by 2.5 inch. I'll just connect my neck. The next thing I'll do is to mark my sewing zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. So the zipper allowance I'm using is actually 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. And then I'll connect it to my waist. After connecting it to my waist, I'm now going to still blend this the way I blended the front. But to actually be safe, or to make sure that my front and my back are the same fitting, the same curve, I will make sure that I bring the front, make sure that this neck tip, my front neck tip touches there. Then the side waist, they are all touching the same point. Then I will just follow the curve of the front, so I don't overdo or undercurve the back or overcurve it. You could use any other method that works for you, that you think would make the front and back curving for the sleeve parts to be equal. So for me, this is what I have now. I'll go ahead to cut. I'll cut from the waist first, then I'll come upward and I'll curve. Then the zipper allowance, I'm going to cut it out. Then I'll cut open the neck, and then I'll connect. So the front and the back is ready. All I'll need to do for now is to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew about 1 inch upwards to this 2.5. Then I'll join the shoulder, then hem the mouth of this place. So I'm not sewing this, I'm not closing this place, I'm only closing from here by 1 inch upward. I'm doing the same thing to the other side. Then I'll join the shoulder and then hem round here. After doing that, I'll come and show us the outcome. Then I'll tell us the next thing to do. Okay, so I'm done joining it together and joining this together. This is how it looks for now. The next thing I'll do is to fix the collar for it first. So the collar I'm working with, I will have to measure around the neck to know the round neck. So my round neck here is 10.5. So I'm going to be cutting a straight collar and inserting it there. For the collar, I'll be inserting about I'll make the collar about say 1.5 inches height. I have a video on how to make a collar, so in case you just want to know how it's done, you can actually check the video. So the collar, I'm not going to be using collar stay, I'll be using tissue stay because I don't want it to be so strong or so thick. So when I insert the collar, I'll come back to the table and we'll continue with the down part of this gown. So for the we are done with this. The collar has been inserted. So this is the upper part of this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to then this is how I made the inside. I sew it, this is 1 inch, and I blended it into here, hemmed this part to the other part, join the shoulder, fix the collar. So this is how far we've gone so far with the gown. Now we're going to talk about the down part of the gown. So I'll make the skirt part for this gown, which is I'll mark her waist. Her waist divided by 4 give me 9.25. So I'll insert 9.25 plus 2 inches would give me 11.25. Then I'll come down by 8 inches for the hip measurement. Her hip is 40 divided by 2 divided by 4 gives me 10 plus 2 inches gives me 12 inches. Then waist to the knee is 18 inches. At that 18 inches, I'll be minusing 2 inches from what I have here. I have 12 inches here, so I'll be using 10 inches or 10.5 here, and I'll mark it straight down. Having done that, I will just connect it and cut. So this is what I have. I'll cut the back the same way, just that for the back I'll be inserting 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So this is 1.5 inches for zipper allowance, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and I'll cut it out. Then I'll cut this side. So having done this, what I'll do is to close up the zipper part, the zipper allowance. I'll fit it to the to her waist and her hip measurement straight down. After fitting it, I'll come to the table so we can cut the design for the down again, the design for the down part of the gown before we now couple it to this up. Okay, so I'm done with the upper part. I've added the skirt to it. This is the back part. I've inserted my zip, and this is the collar. So the next thing I'll do is the lower part of it. I have a flare to attach to the lower part of this, so we'll cut the flare together. Before we cut the flare together, I'll measure round this knee part. So around this knee part, I have about 20 inches. But so on both front and back is 40. So, but because this flare has like an overlap of like say extra 6 inches on both sides, I'm going to be adding meaning 12 inches extra for front, 12 inches extra for back. So making it a total of 24 inches. That is the extra for the overlapping. Now for the 24 inches. I'm going to add it to the measurement of this place, which is 20, which is 40, sorry. 40 plus 24 inches will give me 64 inches. So the circumference we are going to be using for this flare that we are going to be cutting will be 64 inches. So I have my fabric unfold into four. I'm cutting a 360-degree flare for the down part. So the 64 inches divided by 6.28 gives me 10.1. So now the actual length for this is 17 inches. 10.1 plus 17 inches gives me 27.1. So this is 27.1. I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches for joining, making it a total of 29. So I'm going to mark 29 all through. So this is 29. This is 29. I'm just going to keep marking it round to this point. So after doing that, I will just connect it. After after cutting, I will now cut the waist, the circumference of which is 64 divided by 6.28, which gave me 10.1. So I will start marking my 10.1 here, 10.1 here, and 10.1 here. After doing that, I'll cut out. So one thing to note now is to note where you want to be your center front. Where you want to be your center front. Remember that we said we are doing overlapping of um 6 inches, 6 inches, which is a total of 12 inches for the front. So I'll mark that 12 inches here. Just take note of it. Then I would now come down here. I'll start from here and blend. Then I'll cut. It's depending on you. You just gradually make the flare to meet each other. So after doing this, I will take up this part. I'll take up this I'll mark the 12 inches where it stopped, and I'm going to overlap it on each other. So after overlapping it, this is what I would have. So it means that this place becomes my center front, and you see that the overlapping is showing. So all I need to do is to get this center front and attach it to it, and you see that it's coming out. So I'll go to the sewing machine, I will join it to this, then I will hem the mouth of this dress and show us the final outcome.
So this is the final outlook of the gown, and I believe if we follow this step by step, we're going to get this. So please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and also click on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Bye until next time. Remember, it remains Sima Gold, and have a nice day wherever you are.